and we still don't know when she will be returning to the court, if she will be returning to the court this season, and most specifically the reporting around Caitlin Clark's injury, because I feel like it is getting stranger by the day. It has been a month now that Caitlin has been out, and unfortunately I'm starting to get this gut feeling that we might not even see Caitlin back on the court this season, and that might actually be the best thing for her. So and Scott Agnes was replying to someone else's comment who said, "Just can't wait until Cece is back. She's the most dynamic, electric player in the WNBA."
What if I told you the WNBA might only have 2 more years of Caitlin Clark, and it's not because of injury? Experts are whispering that 2026 could be her last season here. Imagine the ratings, the packed arenas, the hype, gone overnight.
I actually went to his YouTube channel and just kind of skimmed through the comments to see if there was anything else. There was one other reply where he was replying to someone and basically said, like, "You have to trust me," or "just trust me." And then Scott Agnes replied and he said, "Have patience, at least several more weeks." Now, Scott Agnes is a beat reporter for the Indiana Fever. He has been covering them relentlessly all season, and we have gotten a lot of great information from Scott. It's up to viewers' discretion. It's up to the fans if they want to believe what he's saying, but several more weeks pretty much puts Caitlin Clark to coming back at the very end of the regular season.
But why would the player who's single-handedly making the league must-watch walk away? Stick around, because the answer will have you questioning whether the league is protecting her or pushing her out. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
And the craziest thing about this last groin injury with Caitlin Clark is how it's been covered. The day after she had the groin injury, she was listed as day-to-day. And then a couple weeks after that, then she was listed to being out indefinitely. If you look at the Indiana Fever's schedule right now, they only have 12 games left, and there is exactly 4 weeks left in the regular season. Now, ESPN had August 12th as the circled return date for Caitlin Clark to get back onto the court, and just yesterday she was listed as a game time decision for.
Everyone talks about Caitlin Clark's highlight reels. The deep threes that splash from way past the arc, the laser passes that slice through defenders, the crossovers that make seasoned pros stumble. But almost nobody is talking about the clock ticking over her career here. And it's not the kind of clock you think. Multiple insiders are pointing to 2026 as the year she could play her last game in the WNBA.
This has been all over the place, and I get it to a certain extent. The fans, the media does not need to know every little thing that's going on with Caitlin Clark's injuries, especially a star player like that. After practice yesterday, Coach Stephanie White basically came out and said, like, no, Caitlin Clark hasn't even been practicing. So they changed it from a game time decision to her being out. We will never know all the information, nor should we know all the information. And that's actually good for Caitlin. It protects her for when she does come back on the court. She can't be targeted. Teams can't use a certain injury or ailment against her
not because of a torn ACL, not because she's burned out. They're saying it because of deeper problems baked right into the way the league runs. Here's the thing, on paper, Clark should be untouchable. She fills arenas months in advance. Jersey sales don't just spike, they explode when her name is involved. Her games average more viewers than entire conference finals matchups in previous seasons. She's exactly what a professional league dreams about: young, marketable, obsessed with the game. But that's where the cracks start to show. A league can post her highlights on Twitter, but if fans watch one game and feel the product around her is slow or frustrating, the hype fades.
That when she came back from the second quad injury that was midway through the season, when she came back from that, I remember seeing that there was only one report that she did one full speed practice. People don't really know what is going on, but the reporting of her timeline in general, there has been no rhyme or reason to what has been shared about it. To put her as a game time decision for today's game, and then before she was back in the mix, and I thought that was crazy. As we know, she played a few games and she got injured again. This time of the year is when the WNBA should be playing their very best basketball.
And that's where people inside the sport say the WNBA's foundation isn't ready to handle a superstar like her. It's wild when you think about her actual play. A rookie who can pull up 5 feet behind the three-point line, spin around a double team, and hit a teammate in stride for a layup without even looking. That's once-in-a-generation skill. When she's locked in, you see defenders shrug because there's just nothing to do. These aren't just entertaining plays, they're moments that could have anchored viral clips racking up millions of views. But too often, those moments get cut short. There's a growing rumble from behind closed doors about something people refer to as a secret committee. No one will give straight names or details, but the whisper is that certain league officials and high-ranking reps make choices about scheduling, officiating crews, even broadcast priorities that tend to dull her edge instead of sharpen it. To an outsider, that might sound paranoid. To people who've watched the last 2 seasons, it's not far-fetched.
Game speed is game speed. There's also a lot more adrenaline, all of these different things pumping when you're playing in front of a sold-out crowd that the Indiana Fever do every single night. Caitlin Clark should not be thrown back into any mix if she doesn't have significant practices under her belt before she goes into game speed. You can try to simulate game speed as much as you want in practice. You will never be able to.
Picture this. Clark drives to the rim, draws contact, and flips in an and-one that has the entire arena roaring. But the ref calls an offensive foul. Replay shows minimal contact, but the bucket gets erased. Or she sets up a fast break, delivers a picture-perfect pass for a game-winning 3, whistle blows. Play stops for something that doesn't impact the action. Those aren't just bad calls, they're giant momentum killers. And those are the very clips that should be spreading across TikTok, pulling in casual fans. Instead, they vanish into nothing. The scary part for the league is how much it actually stands to lose if she leaves. If Clark's games are already pulling in record streaming numbers, imagine what happens when she's suddenly gone. Ratings dip. Sponsors start to rethink that big ad campaign. The networks that slot her games into primetime won't have a reason to fight for WNBA scheduling anymore. It's a ripple effect that could hit everything from ticket sales to rookie contracts. And here's where it stops being just fan speculation. Multiple agents, people whose careers are built around knowing where star players can get the biggest deals, are already saying EuroLeague teams overseas are preparing packages for 2026. Former players are talking about it too, pointing out that in certain countries she could earn way more in 1 season than she can here in 3, with a league that bends rules to showcase her instead of clipping her wings. These are not hypothetical one-day options. These are concrete, ongoing conversations. So it's not about whether she could leave, it's about how easy it is starting to look. And while there might be a way to stop a full-on exodus of talent like hers, insiders warn it would call for big changes, real changes in leadership, in protection for star players, and in the way the league markets its future. The problem? No one's convinced the WNBA is actually ready to make them. If Caitlin Clark walks in 2026, it's not just about losing a star. It's a moment